Hi, Pastor JP here with another teaching tidbit. Today we're talking about testimonies. And so before we begin, I want you to realize that our testimony comes through this relationship. It comes from God working in our lives and even interceding in our lives in powerful ways. But then they are powerful in the way that we share them. And we first can share them with other believers to encourage them and empower them. We can also share them with those who do not yet know God to witness to them. And so as we consider our testimony, I want you to realize just how powerful it is in our kingdom work. So let's begin and start from the very beginning. We have had a time in our life without Christ, and now we're living in a time with Christ. The difference, the factor there, was Jesus coming into our life, right? So we begin there, and we can then look back at that time before and that time afterwards. Let me give you an example of how this plays out in my life. There was a time in my life when I was selfish and I had low self-esteem. When Jesus came into my life, I was forgiven and I wanted to follow him. Now, I have found fulfillment in life through empowering others. And then we end by asking, do you have a story like that? So again, it starts with this introduction. And we can use these exact words. There was a time in my life. Right? And let's go a little bit further and personalize this. So let's put two blanks here. These are spaces where we can fill in more of the nature of our own story. I was selfish and I had a low self-esteem. Then we go back to this change agent who was Jesus. And we look at two more things. And these are almost a universal line here. I was forgiven. I found forgiveness. And I decided to follow him. You could also say maybe I was freed from a difficult situation or struggle. But you can almost, every person could probably use forgiven and follow here. And then, looking forward, let's identify how we now feel, how we now live. I have found fulfillment. So where I was selfish, now I feel, or had low self-esteem, now I am fulfilled. And that came through a desire to empower others. And then we simply finish with that question. So ask, do you have a story like that? Like that. All right? And that's all it takes to be able to share a 15-second testimony.